Hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Psilly Talk podcast. I'm your host, Shally, and on this podcast, we talk about all things mindset, mushrooms, wellness, and personal development. Today's episode is going to be about trust, trusting yourself, your intuition, and beyond that, trusting in a higher power. So let's take it back to a story that I've told many times, but I'm going to tell you from the aspect of me trusting myself. It was 2019, and I was just done. I was done with the way I was living. I was feeling like I was going in circles. I was feeling very stagnant, like personally, in my career, just in general. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And I was like, there has to be more. There has to be more than this. Like I was living in my hometown at the time and I was just like, I'm not liking this. I want to move, right? I want to move. And my friend who I was living with at the time, her and her boyfriend, I was living with them and they were already planning to move at the end of our lease, which was like towards the end of 2019. And I was like, they were moving out of state. And I was like, okay, shit, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? So I wanted to move, whatever, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, I'm going to move somewhere. And for some reason, it was dropped into my spirit to move to Miami. And I did not like Miami that much. I didn't really have a great relationship with the city. So for me, wanting to, even having the thoughts of wanting to move there was so random, but I was listening, that year I had really been strengthening the trust in myself, my intuition, whatnot. So I was like, I don't know, I have this strong pull to go there. So I guess I'm just supposed to go there. And I'm not kidding you. Every single person that I told that I was moving to Miami, they were like, why? They were like, why the hell are you going there? For all sorts of reasons. Everybody had their own reasons of limitations of why I shouldn't move to Miami, even though they had no plan on moving anywhere. They had so much to say about what I should do with my life, right? My mom was telling me, no, just stay here, buy a house here. I hated my hometown. The last thing I wanted to do was anchor myself there with a freaking home and all these things. And people I was friends with were like, why do you want to live there? It's so this there. There's so many people out there, la, la, la. And I was like, I don't care what any of you guys say. I'm moving there. It was so deeply implanted in my mind that I'm going there and I don't care and I'm getting there whatever way. And at the time I didn't have a roommate. I was trying to recruit people oh yeah, you should come with me. But that obviously didn't go through. And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go by myself. I don't care. I'm a new adventure. Let's go. So it was I had moved out of my old apartment and I was in my hometown, living with family. And I was like, it's okay. I'm still moving to Miami. I don't know how it's going to happen or where it's going to go. And I would periodically randomly go look for 1-bedroom apartments. I didn't really know the city like that at all. So I was going in all different parts of it, looking for a place this is nice, but nah, and I wasn't in a rush because I was living with family. So it's not had a lease that was ending, which was cool. And I was just and still so much backlash, don't go there. Why are you going there? Yada, yada, this and that. And also let me refresh your memory. In 2019 is when I was heavily starting my mushroom journey. So I was just really going inward and really learning myself. And like I said, learning to trust myself and doing the things that I wanted to do and feeling the ways that I wanted to feel. And there was just so many aspects of my life that I feel like I hadn't explored or expanded upon yet. And I'm I know moving to a new city will force me to do that and it'll just be fun. Let's go. So anywho, towards the end of the year, one of my cousins ended up coming down to visit the family. So random. I hadn't seen her in years. And then she was like, oh, I want to move. I hate my job. I hate where I live. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm moving to Miami. You can come with me if you want. She's like, yeah. But I'd heard that so many times. So I just didn't think anything of it. Anyway, long story short, she ends up moving down here. We end up moving to Miami and living in Miami. Then we moved to Miami literally a month before the pandemic, right? So I was there because if I had waited and not went back and forth and this and that, then I would not have moved to Miami once the pandemic hit. So I was already there. The pandemic hit. I was locked in, right? And so from being there, I went on a huge spiritual awakening, a healing journey, a growth journey, healed my emotions, my mental health, my physical health, started my own business, started posting on social media, connected with millions of people around the world, positively influencing and teaching people all over the world about how to do the same. And this all stemmed from the fact that I decided that I wanted to move to Miami and trusted in my decision of wanting to do that. Had I listened to anybody who told me not to go there, I don't even know where I would be right now. That's scary to think about because my life is so great and it's so amazing and I feel so amazing. And it's not just that one decision, many decisions lead up to why you do things, but that was a huge decision that positively changed the trajectory of my life. And it was all because I trusted myself and I trusted in my decisions. And I'm I know myself. I know what I like. I know what I want to do. You don't wake up every day in my body. You don't wake up every day in my head. Like, I get to live with myself every day in my decisions. So I trust in the decisions I make. I'm smart. I love myself. I know myself. But like I said, that is just something that's not as common within people. So like when people would ask me like, oh, why did you want to move? Why did you move to Miami? And I would be like, because I wanted to. And they were like, what do you mean you wanted to? And I was like, that's literally the reason, because some people are like, oh, like you didn't have a significant other that made you move there, or like a job forced you to move there, or you were told it. No, I wanted to do it. So I decided to do it. So I did it. That's all it was. Like, I didn't even know. I knew like 3 people who lived there. And then like within the first month, 2 of them left because of the pandemic. So other than my cousin who I was living with. So yeah, I trusted myself and I trusted my decisions, and thank God, because everything unfolded and worked out so perfectly. And I'm so happy that I did that. I quieted the outer noise so much so that I can hear and feel my intuition with such accuracy. And honestly, being there and being physically away from a lot of the people I know and being in a new environment, which was uncomfortable and unfamiliar, it forced me to learn myself more, to follow my intuition more, to follow my instincts, to listen to myself. Like, it strengthened my intuition so much. And I think because I'm the oldest daughter in my family, I inevitably had to assume the role of making decisions and just figuring things out. Like, I just had to. I'm the oldest daughter. Like, things fell on me. Things relied on me. Like, I had to, think first, make sure things were good. Like, yes, it's not like a role that most kids should take on, but unfortunately in our society, a lot of oldest daughters do take on that role. So when I put myself in a very unfamiliar environment outside of my comfort zone, it was easy for me to do that. I was like, okay, like I'm already used to making decisions. I'm already used to figuring it out. Like now I'm just in, it's like I was playing a game. I'm like, now I'm just like in a new level or a new map. Like, all right, cool, let's go. The thing about it too is that the more that I learned to trust myself and stop asking people outside of me like questions on anything, like I stopped really caring about other people's opinions. And it's not like I'm like, no, I do everything on my own. Like, obviously, if I need help in certain situations, I'm going to ask somebody who's like well-versed in that area, who's skilled in that area, like who knows about it more than me. But like, I'm talking like day-to-day little decisions. Like the more that I learned to trust myself and just go with the flow, like my life just flowed so much easier. Like everything worked out so much better. And I start to expect things to work out better. I'm like, yeah, no matter what decision I make, no matter what I do, no matter where I go, if I decide to go left or right or move here, move there, I'm always being guided to my desired outcome. Like it's always working out for me. So I was just fine. I was going with it, and everything is continued to work out in my favor. But also because I'm just so like, I've reprogrammed my mind for that, to just trust myself and expect good things to happen, and knowing that I'm being guided. It's very obvious and apparent the people who are not like that and who do not trust themselves, who do not trust their abilities or their ideas. They'll literally self-sabotage and hold themselves back, even though they know what to do. Like, it's insane. Like, they know what to do. They know what'll make them happier. They know what they can do, this and that, but then they don't do it because they don't trust themselves, because they have an idea of what they want to do, and then they go ask 5 people and half of them tell them to do the other thing, so they don't do anything at all. And it's like, what the hell? You already knew what to do, but they don't trust themselves. And it's like that saying, you are your own worst enemy. You are self-sabotaging because you're not trusting yourself. How are you not going to trust yourself but trust everybody else's decision around you, even though you know yourself the most? I'm not saying people are stupid and they don't have your best interest, but a lot of people, when they give you decisions and like when you ask them questions and they give you answers, it's really based on their own life experiences, their own limitations, the way that they feel about themselves. It really actually has nothing to do with you at all. Like if I was asking someone like, oh, do you like this car? And it's an SUV, but for some reason they hate SUVs and they've had issues in the past with SUVs, they're going to be like, no, that car sucks, blah, blah, blah. Even though it's probably a great car, but for them, they don't want it. So asking them their opinion on a car that you want for yourself and your needs is unnecessary. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, why would you even take their advice on that? You know what I mean? So one of my cousins and my mom, they do the same thing to me all the time. And it's like, I'm like, you guys, like, how do you guys not see like what you're doing? And I like try to gently guide them back to themselves and to trust themselves and their intuition, but they just like always turn it right back around. They will always ask me my opinion on very random small things about themselves, right? It's not just like, oh, do you like my outfit? And even so, like, I don't know, I guess I'm just the type of person that I don't give a shit. Like, if I like my stuff, I like it. I don't care if you like it, but some people want opinions, whatever. So like, I understand that. They'll be like, do you like my outfit? And I'm like, yeah, well, what about this? well, okay, that's fine. Well, this shoe or that shoe? Well, I don't know. Well, I just bought these shoes. Like, should I return them? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, okay, now I just took pictures and this picture's these 3 outfits. Which picture do you like? Okay, I like this one. Okay, which one should go first when I post a carousel on Instagram? And I'm like, oh my God, are you joking? And they're like, I just ordered this from online. Like, do you like it? Should I keep it? And I'm like, do you like it? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, so then why does it matter what I think? And then they get mad. And I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not wearing those shoes. Like, I'm not posting those pictures. I'm not doing those things. So like, why does it really like, if I told you those shoes are hideous, don't buy them, would you return them? And they're like, well, no. And it's like, why are you even asking? Or they'll be like, well, yeah, I would. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, if you like them, why does it matter what I think? And then I think that goes back to a lot of people are looking for validation outside themselves. And I was that type of person too for a long time, like always looking outside myself for approval, for validation, like you're doing a good job or like you made the right decision or you did this, but it's like that doesn't really get you anywhere. And that damn sure doesn't get you to trust yourself and make bold decisions and be courageous and do the big things. You feel me? So I always try to, guide them back to themselves. Like I do that with my clients too. It's like, yes, I can give you the tools and the resources and like give you the knowledge, but at the end of the day, you know yourself best. Like, like how much to take, or like what methods to do, or what products resonate with you, or what yourself. So trust yourself. I just realized that it's much deeper than that. Like if you're the type of person who like cannot make a decision on your own, it's really not about just caring about like valuing other people's opinions. No, you actually value their opinions more than you value your own, and you don't trust yourself to make good decisions. Like you just don't, because if it's hard for you to make decisions and trust yourself when it comes to the bigger things like pursuing your passions or starting a business, you definitely won't trust yourself to do that like at all, or picking a partner. You know what I mean? Like picking where you want to live, like big things, buying out. Like if you can't even trust yourself in the small stuff, you are going to like crumble under pressure at the big stuff. And that's the stuff that you really need to like have that shit on lock, like knowing yourself and trusting yourself when you're making big decisions. Basically what I'm telling you is to have faith. Have faith in yourself and your talent and in your abilities. Trust your emotions and trust your gut feeling. Oh my gosh. When it comes to people, places, jobs, situations, your gut is going to let you know. There is a reason why it's called your gut instinct, like where it's like your gut instinct. It's like, yeah, in your mind, you're like, I don't know if I should do that, because you feel it in your gut, because your gut and your mind are connected, right? And so like if you walk into somewhere and you feel the vibe is off, right? You can't put your finger on it, but you feel the vibe is off, you feel uncomfortable, get the fuck out of there. Like just leave. Or, you're in a relationship with someone, or even not even that deep, like you're on a date with someone, right? And you're talking to him and everything's like, seems to be going well, but there's just like, you're getting this like weird feeling. It's like an alarming that's going off in your body. Like, no, abort mission. Like, no, like you have to listen to that. Your gut is letting you know, because how many times have you had gut feelings about someone or something or a situation and you didn't listen and you're like, damn, I should have listened. Listen to it. Okay. Use those past experiences and realize that your gut is on point. You can trust yourself and your body is going to let you know, like, how you feel, like, what you want, how you like, all right. So just trust that. I've been reading this book called Don't Believe Everything You Think. And it's such a good book. It's such a short little read, but it's so powerful and impactful. And I want to read to you this quote by Albert Einstein. The quote is, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors a servant and has forgotten the gift." You've forgotten that your intuitive mind is your gift. Okay? Like it is letting you know, it is always turned on. It's your internal GPS that is guiding you along the way. And further along in that chapter, there was another part that just stuck out to me and I love so much. It said, "Avoid looking externally for answers. Follow your intuition, gut feeling, inner wisdom, and the universe, God, higher power, whatever, infinite intelligence, whatever you may call it. Those with the faith and courage to do this will discover the true joy, peace, and love they have been looking for while enjoying the miracle of life. The truth is, we tend to know what to do, but we are just afraid to do it. Like, the right answer. Like, what you should do, where you should go, like, if you should be with them, if you should move there, you're just afraid. You're either doubting yourself or you just have fear. And then on the flip side, if you don't have any fear or self-doubt about the situation and you still don't know what to do, then the next step is just to trust God, trust the universe, trust infinite intelligence, whatever you may call it, to give you the answers you need. Having faith is essential. It's really, really essential to live a good life and to live the life that you desire and to have things work out for you seamlessly, like almost like magic. You're like, how the hell did that work out? And it's like, because I just had faith that it would. And the thing about it is God is always working behind the scenes for you. You have to have faith. Okay. Like you have to have faith in something larger than you. Like, yes, you are a conscious creator and you're creating the life that you want and you're thinking, I want this and going after that, this and that. But there is a higher power. There is something bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than us, orchestrating this whole dance that we're in together and moving things, moving mountains behind the scenes, moving things around to have everything aligned for you in the way that you want it. And all you have to do is have faith that that's happening. Like I said, God is working behind the scenes for you to align you with your desired outcomes and to have you in the right places at the right times to meet the right people and have everything work out perfectly. Think about times that you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot even believe that worked out like that. Like I couldn't have even planned that if I tried. Who do you think that was? What do you think that was? That like, yes, you set out the intention and you were like, I'm just going to move forward and have faith that it's going to work out. Like that's how it happens. You know what I mean? Like being a cynic and thinking like nothing ever worked out for me. There's no, like, whatever. I'm not, this isn't even about religion, but it's more so about just having faith that something bigger than you exists and is, helping you out, guiding you along the way. And if you find it hard to trust yourself, then just step back and trust God. That's honestly, I found that easier. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where I want to go. I don't know how, like, I feel stuck. I'm confused. I don't have clarity. So I'm just like, I let go and let God and I'm just guided. And it's like, I have little nudges and it's like to take inspired action or to go here or to turn there, go talk to that person. And then it's like things start unfolding in the way that I desire just because I stepped back and had faith. Back to the Miami story. This part of the story I love so much. So before we were moving there, me and my cousin, we were looking for apartments with one of my other old roommates. So we were looking for 3 bedrooms and we were looking a lot and we were going with realtors and seeing these places and they were just like not it. Like it was just, we didn't like the location or the place was kind of old and run down or it wasn't safe or it was just not what we were looking for and it just wasn't working. But it's like, it's all right, we'll figure it out. And then I remember we went and looked at a place and then like the next day, my cousin was on her way home from work and like, I don't know exactly what happened, but she like rear-ended somebody like at a stoplight and she wasn't going fast, but her car just wasn't like the best quality. So it like completely smushed the front of her car. She was okay, thank God. But that was like, oh crap, like we're trying to move to Miami and like you just got in a car accident. Like this is crazy. Oh my gosh. And so like I had to tell the other girl that we were looking for a place with, I'm like, hey, listen, this just happened. So, we're going to put our apartment hunt on hold. I'm sorry about that. Like I wish you all the best with finding a place, but right now like we need to deal with this and like make sure she's okay and figure this out. And she was like, yeah, okay, no problem, whatever, right? So after about like 2 weeks of dealing with that, figuring out the car situation and all of that working out, we were just like so sick of dealing with car stuff. And we're like, let's just go to Miami. Like, let's just go to Miami and hang out. We haven't been there in a while. Like maybe we'll go look at an apartment, right? So we go down there to hang out. And then we were like, let's go see this place. And we looked at it and it was so nice, like brand new building, so nice, but like small as shit. We're like, what the hell? Like, wow, I can't even like run around in here. It's so small. And then when we went down to leave the building, the concierge was like, how did you like it? How did you like the unit? And I was like, yeah, we liked it, but it was like kind of small, we're looking for something bigger. And he was like, oh, well, this building is owned by a group of like a developer group and they have multiple buildings in the area. And here's their pamphlets right here. And I think this one and this one, he pointed to 2 pamphlets, have larger units. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, let's look at that. So we picked up the pamphlet and called the number and we were like, hey, do you have any units available? And she was like, yeah, 2 on the 15th floor. And we're like, oh, cool. Like that's what we're looking for. So we decided to just walk over there. And it was funny because I had been looking for apartments for us online. I'm really good at finding places to live and I know all the good websites and this and that. And I had been looking online and it was leading me to places, but nothing that we wanted. So I was like, fuck it. Like, let's just walk over to this place and see what it's about. So we walk up there and we walk in and she's like, yeah, just straight up to the 15th floor. And we're like, okay. So we went up to the top and we walked in and it was massive. It was massive. It was beautiful. Like there was workers in there, I guess, like cleaning it up, I guess, like getting it ready. And we walked out. The first thing I noticed when I opened the door was like the balcony was facing the water. And I remember saying that I wanted a water view. I wanted a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I wanted light, hard floors, like not dark hardwood floors or carpet, like light, hard floors. And I didn't want neighbors that lived above me because I hated that and like people stomping and stuff. But I also didn't want to live on like the 40th floor because I know a lot of those buildings are skyscrapers. So we walked in. The first thing I noticed is a water view. It's huge, light colored floors, and the building only had 15 floors. So we were at the top and I was like, this is insane. Like, this is exactly what we want. I immediately went back downstairs. So the lady, we'll get it, whatever, like, let's apply for it. And we got approved for it and everything. And it's so crazy because that unit wasn't even on the market yet. She's like, oh, the guys were literally in there cleaning it up and we were going to post it online today, but you called me before we could even post it. I'm like, wow, that's so funny. And we ended up getting the place and it worked out perfectly. Fast forward to like 8 months into us living there and we're meeting the neighbors and like learning about the area more in the building. One of the neighbors told us that the guy who used to live in our unit before, he lived there for like 10 years and he wanted to buy a house. Like, he had built a successful business in that apartment. He wanted to buy a house and he wanted to leave his lease, but they were like, you have to pay all this money to leave your lease. And he's like, what the heck? Like, I've lived here for so long. I made the place so nice, like this and that. They were like kind of going back and forth because he didn't want to pay like 3 months rent, I guess, to leave the lease. So what had happened was during the weekend, he secretly, because the office was closed on Sunday, so he like secretly, him and the neighbor that we knew, like helped move all his stuff out on a Sunday. And then Monday morning, he had sent them an email saying, I moved out of the apartment. I'm not paying you guys to move out, to break my lease, keep my security deposit, like whatever. And that was on Monday morning. And literally like 2 hours later, me and my cousin had walked into that building and saw that unit. So the guy literally moved out the day before in the middle of his lease on a whim. Like, no, the building didn't know he was going to do that. He was just so fed up and did that. And we just happened to go walk in and see that place. And it's insane because we would have never even seen that place or even thought to go look at that 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom had my cousin not gotten to the little fender bender a couple weeks before because we were looking for 3 bedrooms. So you see how it's crazy how like I put out this desire that I'm moving to Miami. I have faith it's going to work out. God's got me. Like, it's all working out. And then the way it started to unfold and all worked out. And we ended up living in this beautiful apartment overlooking the water at such a great price, like huge light colored floors, great building, great neighbors, just because I had faith and I was led and I would just listen to the nudges and the inspired action to take along the way. It was amazing. And it was just, I always tell people that story when people are like flustered, like, it's not working out. It's like, listen, when it's going to work out for you, like, it's going to work out either way. Okay. Just trust yourself and trust your decisions and just keep going. And it's going to work out, and trust in God. Okay. God's got you all the time. You know you more than anybody. Okay. You know what you desire. You know what you like to do. You know how you want to live, all of that. So trust yourself to make great decisions. And like I said, regardless of the decision you're making, have faith that you are being guided along the way to your desired outcome. So over the years of taking mushrooms and reprogramming my mindset and focusing on my overall health and well-being, my faith, intuition, and confidence in myself has skyrocketed. It is now very easy for me to pursue my dreams, put myself out there, follow my gut instinct, and never second guess myself. Like, ever. Like, I know me. I got this. I've been able to effortlessly live such an amazing life simply by harmonizing my mind, body, and soul. And if you too want to live your life on purpose, have high levels of self-confidence, and feel amazing mentally and physically while doing so, check out my Higher Self Mastery program. It's a monthly membership community that includes multiple video coaching courses that cover microdosing mushrooms, holistic health, and upgrading your mindset. We also do live group coaching calls every month where you get to ask me whatever questions you want, and I bring people on and I just do group coaching and get you to where you want to go. And I also help you within the community. So if you're asking questions on a day-to-day basis, like typing them in the community, I'm in there answering them and whatnot. And then we can go on live and actually chit chat there. You'll get to be a part of an amazing supportive community full of people that are on the same journey as you. You'll also get access to the best microdosing mushroom products ever with a forever discount code. And I'll link all of that in the show notes. And if you're not already, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Shallyway. Send me a DM, ask me any questions. I share a lot of lifestyle content on there about just me living my life and wellness. And I share tips and I talk about mushrooms and I do a lot of intuitive, like sometimes I'll just get a download of something just like how I'm talking to you on this podcast and I'll share my insight or a message or encouragement or motivation. And I share a lot of that on my social media as well. So remember to follow me on there. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Psilly Talk podcast. We'll be back next week with another one. Bye.